Welcome, Red Sox Nation. I just got back from the Red Sox locker room, but Ben, I swear I'm not contagious, all right? This is Dodgers Rap 360. Oh, I think I got phlegm on
You're
that.
tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Sail! And it's going to be smooth sailing every time that guy takes the bump.
Apparently.
I'll tell you what, I mean, I was thinking, all right, maybe he's going to have a little adjust to Boston time, you know, like kind of Price had and Porcello had before him, and then turn it on. Now I no longer think that. I think that slider is so filthy that will just take away any type of adjustment period.
Completely locked in. Absolutely.
Locked in. He's filthy, dude. 3+ pitches. I mean, that fastball, that change, that slider, ridiculous.
Feeling pretty good about it right now.
I mean, back-to-back Cy Youngs for the Red Sox. That's what I mean, if I don't mind saying so myself. Woof! Gangs, thanks for dropping in with us. Ooh. For Ben Fay, I'm Mike Conley. This is our weekly regular discussion of all things Red Sox Rap 360. Hey, Ben, why don't you tell the people how they can get in touch with you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can hit me up on Twitter at BennyFrickinJam. And you can tell us what we got wrong, what we got right, or you can just tell us what you liked us talking about or want to talk about next week.
Exactly. Yeah, if you want to steer our relative discussion in a certain direction, hit up Benny Freaking Jam on his Twitter, or you can hit us up if you're following us live on the YouTube chat room, and hit us up. If you're listening to us during the week, us popping in with us during the week on YouTube or AfterBuzz, hit us up in the comments section. Let us know what you'd like to see on the show, other than Mike Conley rambling for about 42 minutes. Because nobody wants to see that. Whew. Oh, man. So salvaging a little bit of the Detroit series. Sunday, the Sox, nice comeback win, 7-5. Let me ask you this question, just jumping around. Earlier in the week, has Pablo Sandoval found his way into your heart with that one home run?
He did. I was going crazy, and I think the rest of Red Sox Nation was as well. It's finally nice to see this guy who, we really didn't even get to see that much of him last year, just a couple weeks, and he went down with the injury. Even before that, really didn't look good. He's trimmed down a lot, and
was that the injury to his belt?
I don't even remember what the injury was, honestly.
I really think
what was it?
I think it might have been a shoulder impingement, because I think it was just like general fatness, but they just couldn't say that. So I think they came up with the mystery one, and then he ended up getting hurt anyways.
Yeah, but he looks trim. I mean, definitely swinging the bat well. I mean, that was an opposite field bomb. So he got a hold of that one, and I think he looks pretty good. Although,
I mean,
he did have 2 errors this week.
Oof.
So the third base is.
I was hoping he can keep it under 15 errors this year. That's what I said last week. So he's not off on a good start.
He's not a good start, but again, he did have a whole year off there, so maybe like a little
right now it's like a 48
jittery
error pace.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not good.
No.
So the stories of him withering away to nothing are slightly exaggerated. I mean, he's probably closer to 15 pounds lighter than 50.
Yeah, I mean, like
probably in that 20 range, maybe.
But still, stand him next to Sandy Leon, and I think they're pretty comparable.
Man, everybody pales in comparison when they're standing beside Sandy Leon. This guy, talk about somebody getting Wally pipped. I mean, it isn't really a Wally Pip situation, but like all we've been hearing, like, go back like a year and a half and go back a year and a half from there. Like that year and a half was all about how incredible Swihart is. And this Vasquez kid is, he's Benito Santiago reincarnated, Pudge Rodriguez, reincarnated. I find it tough to call Pudge Rodriguez Pudge, just to, but anyways, Ivan Rodriguez, and, but now this guy, because of injury, got his foot in the door, and he's never leaving.
I mean, yeah, he's cranking it. I think he's at like 438 right now for the early season. I mean, it is early, but
Yeah.
this is exactly the same kind of start he got off to last year. I remember last year he started 20 for 40.
You had him on Ted Williams' watch.
I mean,
in May last
he was
year.
crushing it last year. Slowed down a little bit toward the end of the season, but I mean, look, hey, if we can get a hot start out of him, that's great because we definitely need it. We have a big gap to fill, missing out on the big father himself. The large father.
Large father.
So yeah, it's a big gap to fill. It's nice to see that we have somebody who's kind of taking that role for us.
Oh, you're putting that on Sandy Leone? I like it. I mean, it's a group effort.
Exactly. I
No
mean,
question.
this week it'll be Sandy. Next week it could be Xander when he comes back from bereavement. We'll have to take it where we get it.
Yeah, so I think Xander is due back Sunday night, so could be with the club on Monday in this odd wraparound series in Detroit. Even though Monday's not a holiday, for some reason they're playing a day game there. Asked my friend who works in Detroit Sports News, and he was saying that it's all Illich is doing. He's been doing it for like 25 years. He tries to get those people. He's assuming that like the Pistons and the mainly the Red Wings, is the Illich own the Red Wings as well, are going to be in the playoffs. How pompous is that? This is the first year they don't make it. It's like
Ouch.
taste it in like 26 years or something. But he wants them to come down, get their money for the baseball game, have them stay for the hockey game, get their money double time. So, yeah, I mean, that's why he was a businessman. Made a lot of money. He was able to buy sports teams.
That's
I
right.
mean, who am I to argue? But anyways, so oddly enough, and if you happen to be in the Detroit area, or even if you're a Red Sox fan and you haven't caught a game this year, shame on you, but make Monday the first sick pitching matchup. Chris Sale goes for his second start, Justin Verlander. Oof.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Let's talk about that in a little while. Let's
Okay,
talk about
okay.
this past week and the fact that the Red Sox, despite being ravaged by influenza, have got their way to a winning week to this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great game today. I mean, we were kind of a 2-game skid like you talked about, and we had a nice come-from-behind victory today. Porcello, again, he gets his second start of the week. He had 8 Ks today. He had 11 hits, which was a lot. But again, I mean, we kind of know that when Porcello's on the mound that he's pitching for contact. So he kept us in the game when we needed him to. And we had a couple big innings there late in the game and got some runs on the board when we needed them.
Yeah, and that's a sign of like really, and he's kind of moving forward on getting that kind of ace moniker. I mean, obviously the guy's a Cy Young winner now. So the expectation level is a little high for him, and that's what you expect. Like when your stud doesn't have his best stuff. Like today, I know Jerry was saying during the telecast that it seemed like he was relying on his curveball because that's the one pitch he was trusting. And when you don't have your best stuff, to be able to battle and keep your team in the game. So he almost had a chance to win with the Sox pulling it out at the end. But Matt Bonds was great out of the bullpen. Him just coming back from bereavement,
Absolutely.
as well.
Yep.
So, I mean, how many guys were struck down with the flu this week? I mean, this recently in the Detroit series, Hanram didn't even make the trip, right?
Yep. So Hanram's going to be, from what I've heard, he got hit really hard. So he's probably looking at maybe Tuesday coming back.
Right.
They were saying he was just like up and out of bed for, just a little bit today. So, he might be coming back a little slow. We also had Joe Kelly, who's on flu watch. We have Robbie Ross on flu watch. We
Yeah, he got bad.
we got Dave O'Brien on flu
Dave
watch.
O'Brien goes down. Tom Caron has to come in from the pen in Watertown and call the game.
Yeah, that was
Ridiculous.
crazy. Yeah, I
Was
wonder
it?
if they've ever done that before.
They were saying they didn't. I was, kind of impressed with how well Remy kind of rolled with it.
Pretty seamless, right? Until they mentioned it, I didn't even really notice that it was not Dave O'Brien doing it, right?
Right.
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm sitting here in the studio in in Boston with like 20 books in front of me."
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That was awesome.
So yeah, him, those guys are all on flu watch. I feel like I'm missing
Mookie Betts.
Mookie, that's right.
Just
Mookie.
getting back today.
Yeah, so he was available to pinch hit yesterday, but I don't think that they put him in yesterday, did they? I think he just sat. I think he just sat on the sidelines.
I think you're right. I saw him with a bat in the ninth, but I don't think he got in there.
Okay.
Porcello, and it seems like the runs came around a little bit late for him last year. I mean, this start on Sunday, but the bats did come around for him on Monday, and he was able to get the win in that one. And that's kind of like a following through of what happened last year. Last year he led the league in run support. So for some reason they like to score runs for Ricky P. That's a pretty nice trait to have if you're a pitcher.
Well, and the other thing was, today we had 4 innings where we scored runs, but for the 4 games previous to today, we actually only had 4 innings where we scored runs in all 4 of those games combined. So today was also a big breakout day for the bats as well. We had that weird streak where we were only scoring 1 inning a game. It was kind of weird, right?
Yeah. And especially when, like, on opening day, you got such a good feeling with 8 out of the 9 starters getting in the hit column. You were like, all right, this is what we got to get back to. But then, people started falling out.
Well,
Bogey went on the bereavement, and then any idea what's up with it? I mean, I assume it's a death in the family, but
I don't know.
That's the type of in-depth investigative reporting you get here on a weekly basis on Sunday nights here at the AfterBuzz Studios with Red Sox Wrap 360. Coming at you about 10 minutes past 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday night. So check us out. Check us out during the week. Hop on the YouTube chat room with us if you're listening now. If you listen during the week, hit us up in the comment section. Oh, yeah. So, Ben, another guy kind of newbie this season who you were just in my ear about after the first series. And, you were just ready to run him out of town. Old Mitchie Moreland started coming around with the bat a little bit here in this series, though.
Literally was not getting any hits, and then as soon as I messaged you and said this guy is a bum,
boom,
all of a sudden he
like
turns
4 for
around
5 stretch.
like 3 doubles now. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. He's swinging the bat well. I mean, look, he started off.
That's a Ben Fay bump, we'll call that. A little different than the Colbert bump.
Yeah.
But the Ben Fay bump, I like it.
And then I tried to trash Chris Young at the end of the game, hoping that he would pull through for us, but it didn't end up happening.
Keep at it. Keep at it.
But he also is Moreland's leading the league, leading the team in strikeouts. So that's not great. He's gotten some clutch hits though in the past couple games. So we'll give him a pass for this first week. Maybe he just had the jitters, but.
I mean, he's getting a little more work than he was probably bargaining for over there, with Hanram not being healthy, because that was looking like more of a platoon situation to him, going to be in the heavy side of the platoon. But Hanram was probably going to play first against lefties and probably put Chris Young in the DH hole, unless they want to give one of the youngsters a day off in the outfield on those, and then they'll probably do a rotation thing in the DH hole. But that was the plan. But like you say, Hanram had that shoulder stuff, and now he's got the flu. So Mitch Moreland, but at least he won the Gold Glove last year. So,
right.
And has been playing some pretty good defense. And hasn't been challenged too much down there, but it's good to see.
It is, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Red Sox use all those different guys in those positions because, of course we have Mitch Moreland in there. We've got Hanram, who is going to be DHing and maybe subbing in and out.
Steve Selsky's in the mix too.
Steve Selsky
sells seashells in center field
from Cincinnati.
Were you a little puzzled? It was to see Steve Selsky in center field. Maybe I'm just racist against white dudes, and when they play athletics, but he's your best center field option. I mean, Chris Young used to play center field for a number of years, and he's in the DH hole and not Steve Selsky. Interesting. Found that interesting. I got to think Mookie Betts over there is probably a better, but right field in Fenway is tough to play. Well, it was in Detroit, so expansive outfield nonetheless. But it was kind of odd to see Steve Selsky out of there instead of a veteran presence like Chris Young, who's played a lot of center field in his day.
Now, is it also possible that we could have Mr. Sandy Leon as a designated hitter at some points during the season when we're ready to give Vasquez and Swihart a couple extra reps?
I mean, maybe if you're going to get in a situation where Swihart's up with the team, then yeah. But a lot of teams kind of shy away from doing that because then if something happens to your catcher, and your DH has to go in to catch, you lose the DH.
Right.
So that's why you kind of stay away from that. But, yeah, I mean, if Sandy keeps hitting the way he does, I mean, there's no way you can kind of keep him on a line, even when you want to give him a day off, even when Eduardo Rodriguez is out there and Vasquez is his personal catcher. Man, if Sandy's raking.
he's still got to be available at least as a pinch hitter or something, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, definitely as a pinch hitter. But
Well, the other guy that you guys didn't mention last week, and I was really upset about because this is my homie, my IU alum homie, Sam Travis, who we actually didn't get to talk about a lot last year because he went down with the ACL.
he did.
But this is a really young guy. He was teammates with Schwarber at IU, and they used to rake. They actually got IU to the World Series. I'm not sure if they won it. I don't think they did. But that year, actually, Sam Travis was the one who was getting a lot of the accolades. So like Big Ten Player of the Year,
So
stuff
you're
like
telling
that.
me he's better than Schwarber?
According to his college career, if you look at their college stats, Sam Travis is a better baseball player.
Well, we're 3 years removed from that. So.
Yeah. So,
A lot can happen in
anyways,
3 years.
he's a first baseman as well. We could definitely see him coming up at some point during the season. I've got my eye on him. That was kind of what I was talking to you. I was like, I think Moreland's more of like a gap until Sam Travis is ready. But maybe he's going to prove me wrong.
No, I mean, it's true. He only got a 1 year deal.
Yeah.
So I think the key is really not trying to rush through Sam Travis. I mean, he only had 6 weeks of AAA ball under his belt before he got hurt or something like that. So I think to see him for a full year at AAA and see what he's got at that level is a good thing. He's still the youngest player, I believe, on the team at AAA. So, so you got time in that regard. He can go back to his college teammate there and, find out the, little picadillos and get some advice on coming back from an ACL injury. Because
That's right.
Schwarber was obviously able to do it for the tail end of last year and then in the playoffs. So, but I also don't think there's really a rush on that to rush him. They want him to get back healthy and not have him think like, okay, we need you in the show this year. So, and when you look at a guy like David departing, it's like obviously you're not going to be able to replace that bat really. So what do? You try and upgrade the defense in that scenario. So when Moreland's playing first and Hanram is DHing, we're better defensively in that scenario. So with the rain out, so Pittsburgh, very odd to start with the interleague game. It really just kind of
Weird.
took me out of the whole thing. It was.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. They end, I believe, in a league too. Or maybe they end with the Astros, and I keep thinking they're in the National League. But yeah, very odd. But so with the rain out, they were only get 2 in there. So that's a sweep. Woo!
Yeah.
We just got to keep win series. Obviously, we're not going to win this Detroit series, but a 4-game set, if we can play it 2-2 at their home field, you got to feel good about that.
Yep.
So that'll be coming to a close on Monday. And then what do we got? Baltimore in for a 2-game set?
And then I think we're going to do the postponed
makeup
Pirates game on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. So they'll make that up right away. That was supposed to be an off day. So now this is kind of a tough stretch of the schedule right out of the gate here. With them losing that off day, they're now in a stretch of 30 games in 31 days. So It's like no rest for the wicked. We're going to see if that Drew Pomerantz's shoulder's ready to go.
Jeez, yeah.
He's going to have to be in the rotation. Now, and here's something I was thinking the other day as I watched Eduardo Rodriguez not efficiently pitch in that game.
Yep.
What about, when Price comes back, we're thinking early May, mid-May, he's throwing.
Okay.
We're supposed to have a bullpen tomorrow. He's been throwing, they say, off the bump, but not really downhill.
Yeah.
Just playing catch, just to get used to it. So I'm putting him out of my mind for the most part until May 1st, and then I'm going to be clamoring, where is this guy? Mm-hmm. But say he comes back and Erod doesn't wow, is it Erod to the pen? And if it is Erod to the pen, and nobody has claimed to that 8th inning role, like I'm going to be the guy here, and Erod shows a proclivity for being able to do that, would you leave him in the pen for the season? You probably wouldn't have that luxury because if another starter goes down, it's probably him again.
Yeah.
But if he proved to be lights out and they rip off, 10 straight games and 6 of those games are saved by Craig Kimbrel with Erod setting them up, it's like you start getting in that situation. Matt Barnes becomes a shutdown 7-inning guy.
Right. Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're the 2014 Kansas City Royals.
Well, and we thought our bullpen was going to be a little shaky, and for the one game
and it
on
is.
Well, I think we did okay this week, actually, the bullpen wise. I mean, we didn't do terrible. Hembry had the
Friday
loss.
Game.
Hembry had the loss on Friday, so that was a little rough. And
To come back, to get Panda, to hit that bomb.
Other than that, though, the bullpen was pretty solid this week.
Yeah, I know, but that was just the one that really stuck out.
Yeah,
you know, because it's like such a momentum shit. You know, you're on the road and you get that game one. Oh, and that comeback fashion, it looked like this Ravage flu lineup can't hit, and then boom, boom. Anyways, I mean, that big fly I didn't think that was getting out, and it did. It was amazing. The ball was flying out.
So Hembry has recently been getting comparisons to Mr. Kenny Powers.
Kenny Powers.
Now I think that's good because he's got the same hairstyle and he's got the beard going. But I actually think he looks a lot more like T.J. Miller.
Yeah.
T.J. Miller from Office Christmas Party and Silicon Valley, the TV series.
I am familiar.
So I don't know. I mean, you guys be the judge. Tell me what you think.
Here's where your comparison loses steam. T.J. Miller doesn't have a TV show where he plays a baseball player.
That's what it is. Yeah.
It's kind of the big thing. It's kind of the main thing.
That's the biggest thing.
It is.
Yeah.
You know. So, I mean, you'll just have to get past that, bro.
All right.
You just have to get past that.
But, like, literally, it's stunt double for this guy. Doppelganger.
Yes. How about, I mean, it didn't take him long. Just right off the bat in that first game, the Paisan in left field, Andrew Benintendi, just like, you know, just that bomb. He back-footed that. Oh, man. It was great to see.
Not only that, but he's had a couple of shots that have gone barely foul that have just been rockets.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or did he put on a couple pounds of muscle in the offseason? He looks a little bigger to me this year.
He's got the hair back. You know, he's like Samson.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
You know, he grows the hair back, the muscles get a little bigger. It's like, that's it.
He looks good, man. He's swinging a bat this year.
Oof.
I'm excited about him. And we kind of had him with the knee injury last year what was that? It was the second half of last year, I think, where he had the knee injury. Was it right after the All-Star break? It was right before the All-Star break?
Yeah.
And that kind of like threw his momentum off a little bit, but yeah.
Speaking of knee injuries, I mean, Jackie Bradley Jr. is the most athletic guy out there in center field. And then he has that old man stumble rounding second. As somebody who is a veteran of a few old man stumbles, I can tell you that usually happens on like a staircase when I'm trying to. Only went 10 inches on that 11-inch riser, and you duff it with the toe, and then hopefully you're at the landing at that point, and then you can just kind of duck and shoulder roll it like the fat man dismount. But I mean, he tries to regain his balance and ends up hyperextending his knee.
Yep. So. Just got word back, and I think it might not be super conclusive until tomorrow, but sounds like it's a sprained outer knee, so I think he's going to be okay. I think what they're deciding now is whether or not they're going to put him on the DL.
DL him. Especially now with that 10-day DL. Get that guy good as new. It's April. Don't have him like playing around with a nagging knee all year.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, because it's almost to the point with this team that I'm enjoying them better when they're like not at bat. When they're in the outfield, seeing these guys run down the balls. That ball he ran down in right center in Detroit was ridiculous.
That was sick.
I was like, that's
He's
the right
fast.
fielder's ball.
He's fast, guys.
And he's just like, wow. It's like, I mean, he's like, you know, if he runs from A to B, he's maybe not the fastest guy on the team, but he just gets an incredible jump. He knows where the ball's going. You know, he was talking to Garen Austin, I think, the following day about it. And he's just like, I just kind of don't look for it. I kind of had an idea of a vicinity where it was going. I just ran to that spot, and then I was able to pick it up. And then the sun got in, and then it came out of the sun. It was just like breaking it down. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But it was just like, it's like outfielding 101.
So I think we might have dodged a bullet. I mean, initially it looked really bad. Then he got up and it kind of looked okay. And then they said, we're going to bring him in for an MRI, which is not something that you're particularly psyched about. But it kind of stinks because he was doing so good early season, like making some great plays in the outfield, like we've come to expect. It's just almost ho-hum for him at this point. But,
Right.
He was swinging a good bat too, and that's kind of exactly what we were hoping for. So, yeah, hopefully he gets well soon and is back in the lineup in no time.
Get well soon, JBJ.
That's right.
We got Steve Selsky out there to play center, so go on the DL now while we get these guys. I like these guys towards the end of the roster, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to keep them all up. Like, once, like, Josh Rutledge gets healthy, for some reason we have this loyalty for Josh Rutledge. He's been back with the team twice already. And, like, Marco Hernandez, I love this guy.
He's been swinging a good bat, too.
And he plays better defense than
Yeah, I saw him turn a couple DPs this week, so that's good.
So the only reason is, like, he's got options. So he's going to be the guy that keeps getting demoted, which is sad to say. And then Selsky, boom, he doesn't play the middle infield, so he might be the guy that goes down.
You know who was the other guy that was sick this week that I forgot to mention, but he's been playing through it, is Benintendi. They were saying that in yesterday's game, he was actually throwing up in the middle of the game.
I believe it.
Yeah, in the 6th inning, so crazy.
Well, I mean, that kid, right when you think he can't gain your affinity anymore, he goes ahead and plays through the sickness.
Yep.
You gotta love it.
So yeah, we had Chris Sale make his first Red Sox start, and he did not disappoint. 7 innings, 7 Ks, 1 walk, 3 hits, 0 runs. Dude was filthy.
Couldn't get the win. But that was the awesome extra inning game that Sandy ended with the 3-run blast.
3-run blast. After 13 innings playing catcher, he got the walk-off home run.
Into the monster seats.
Yeah.
The second 3-run walk-off in extra innings home run that day. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, I mean, this guy, he just comes out of nowhere and steals your little Red Sox heart and just won't let go of it. I mean, he did it last year, and now he's going to do it this year, and it's like,
yep.
I wonder if he kind of wanes in the end like he did last year, if they'll have the balls to play like Swihart coming up. Or now maybe Swihart has to start taking reps at first base or third base. They're going to ruin that poor guy. But if he's got 2 catches that are better at catching ahead of him, it is one of those positions where, you'd like to go defense first. And how about them throwing out everybody?
Yeah.
In the early on.
Yep.
I mean, it didn't take long. Vasquez is like, first guy, okay, a cannon. And that guy had an incredible jump. And Laser Show with a sick pick and tag. I was like, that guy's going to get that standing. And then, nope, laser. Boom.
Yep.
Sick. Yeah, I mean, everybody's on Javier Baez for him being that. But that pick by Pedroia and that tag, nobody's made a play at second base like that this year.
Well, and it makes me actually think, again, we had this situation come up last year where we had 3 catchers. Is that some point in the season, if we're still sitting on 3 healthy catchers who are all legitimate starters in this league, does it make sense to hang on to all 3 of them, or is there a need that we can address? And, it might come down to maybe getting a reliever.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the problem is like if these guys aren't playing on a regular basis,
then how do you know?
Yeah, like people aren't going to give you top dollar, so they're going to lowball you on these guys that you think, hey, you have to get rid of anyway.
Yep.
So it's almost like I would rather just see you try him at different positions and get his bat in there. It's like, all right, so you're a DH now, but.
Okay, so I had asked you a trivia question earlier in the week. I'm going to let our fans get after it. We only got a couple minutes left in the show.
Okay.
Who has which major league pitcher has the longest active win streak?
Longest active win streak.
And I'll give you a hint. It's obviously a Boston Red Sox pitcher because we are the Red Sox Rap 360 on AfterBuzz TV.
Wow, that's an interesting question.
It is, and it's not something it's not somebody who you would expect. But once I tell you, you're gonna think, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Should I save it for the end of the show, or should I blurt out a guess right now?
I mean, you can blurt it out unless
Stephen Wright.
It's not Stephen.
Oh
Wright. No, that's probably good. That's a good guess.
But now that I brought him out, how about talking about that guy? Because what you can kind of almost say coming into everybody's season at this juncture, everybody's reborn in March. Everybody's got a shot at the World Series. Everybody's going to go 162-0, all that jazz. But the one thing, like even if you didn't watch a team, you could probably get by saying, Well, I don't like the back end of their rotation and their bullpen, and you can kind of say that about the Red Sox as well. When you look past the three studs, though, it's like you got Stephen Wright and Drew Pomeranz, two guys that made the All-Star team last year.
Yep.
It's like great problems to have.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So it's like if that bullpen could just iron itself out, maybe get a Carson Smith or a Tyler Thornburg back. Oh, we could be looking good. This could be a really nice year. You want to throw out a win total this year? What do you like?
Oh,
the
yeah.
Red Sox. We didn't do it last week.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Well, I know that we're probably going to get 90 this year.
90?
Yep.
I'm going to go with 92.
92? Okay. Okay.
I believe I guessed it
slow
on the
start
bean
for the
last
first
year.
week, but okay.
I think I 91 is what I guessed last year.
And what do we get?
I think we might have got 91.
91. Yeah.
Actually, I think we might have got like 94. Anyways.
Yeah, and it's really not going to take any more than 90 to win the AL East this year, I don't think. It's not looking very solid. Yankees are not looking very great.
Oh, that's great. They beat Baltimore today, but
oh, did they? Well, great. I'll take that.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, AL East is not looking particularly tough this year.
93 they won last year.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get 93 this year.
I told you 92.
Yeah, 92?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, once we get Price back in there, we got the three aces rolling. You know, we get that. Yeah, no problem. You know,
Okay.
we're not going to
Okay.
get. You think we're going to get less wins this year? Adding Chris Sale's not going to give us one extra win.
I mean, I think you're going to have some regression from some of the other guys, too. I
Okay.
don't know if Porcello is going to get as many wins as he did last
Okay.
year, but
No, probably not. You know,
But-
he led the league in run support. So, and what did he get? Like 22 wins last year or something? So obviously, yeah.
and
he's
like
gonna
our
be-
lineup was like filthy last year.
Okay, it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Big
We got Steve Selsky, so there's going to be no stopping us. So who else looked good this week?
Well, I think Kimbrel looked great. He had 2 saves. I think that makes like 31 straight.
Great. I mean, today he went in there with a 3-run lead in the ninth
Yep.
and proceeds to walk the first 2 guys.
Yeah.
He brings the tying run to the plate. I mean, my heart can't take that.
Hey, 31 straight. Given the opportunities, you know, he's been pretty solid.
That save is the most overrated stat in the league. Such a joke. The guy,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, I know where you're
You
going
know?
with that, but
Well, I mean, I wish I shared your confidence. When he comes in, I get nervous. My stomach tightens up, and that's just, it goes to show you how thin the closer market is out there.
Yeah.
Because that being said, the guy's probably the 7th best closer in the game.
yeah.
You know. So
last year was a bit of a down year for him, as we all know. You know, we signed this guy thinking he was going to be lights out closer for us. And last year, not really. But I was reading an article that was talking about, who was analyzing all the different aspects of his game, talking about how many pitches he's throwing at different kinds of pitches, you know, how fast his velocity is. Pretty much everything is pretty in line with what he's been doing throughout his career. You know, his fastball hasn't dipped too much in velocity. He's throwing the same mix of pitches. But
he's walking more guys, though.
that's the thing. Yeah. So what they're thinking is that what he's trying to do is he's trying to throw his curveball with more curve, because he's anticipating that people are going to hit that curveball, and so he's trying to throw it a little bit more outside the zone, and that's what it's leading to. It's more walks. You'll see a little bit more inconsistency in terms of throwing strikes. So what we're saying is what we want to do is we want to see Kimbrel throw his curveballs somewhere in the middle. Not so much that it's easy to predict or easy to hit, but not so much that he's throwing it way outside the strike zone.
Right.
So hopefully he'll make that adjustment at some point during this season.
Well, I mean, isn't he a guy that had such good fastball command in the past that he got ahead with his fastball? So then when he came with that filthy off-speed stuff, he could throw it out of the zone, and because guys were ahead of the count, they had to dive after it. Now they're ahead of the count, they can just let it go.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think
pitch ahead, kids.
Yeah.
Pitch ahead in the count.
I don't think there's like a mechanical thing there that's really needs to be worked out, or even that he's, you know, past his prime or anything like that. I think it's just some minor adjustments, and I think he'll be there.
Eduardo couldn't get the win the other night. It was kind of spoiled his 24th birthday. He was on his 24th birthday, couldn't get it. I do want to give a congratulations out there to Red Sox legend Bobby Doerr, who on this past Friday, turned 99.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yep.
Best second baseman in Red Sox history, and still kicking.
Yep.
Probably could still pick it and turn it.
Did somebody say that? I think I read a stat that said he's the oldest living
Red Sox
Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, could be.
Yeah, likely.
Yeah,
likely.
Because ever since Johnny Pesky passed, he's been the oldest living Red Sox. And, yeah, interesting.
Talking about stars, we got a couple extra minutes.
Please.
Does the MLB have a star problem? This was an article that ESPN posted. They do a MLB superstar survey where they're surveying some group of people, and they talk about America's top 50 favorite pros.
Yeah, like 3 were baseball players or something, or
none in the top 50 were baseball players. Not
they weren't
one.
Current, right?
So one of them was Derek Jeter.
Yeah.
The other one was Tim Tebow, who first you see his first minor league at bat, he hit a home run. Good for him. Bo Jackson, which okay. Pete Rose was in there.
Wow.
The first baseball player was number 51. And
Mike Trout?
No, it wasn't Mike Trout. And actually, Mike Trout, they were talking to his agent about how Mike Trout, he is so young in his career, and he never really leaves L.A. He's not really, a very he's super marketable because he's like the all-around guy. But I think just like outside of L.A., the other thing is he's on the Angels, and they don't ever win. So.
Right. There's that.
So number 51 is Anthony Rizzo.
Wow.
Yeah.
See what happens, man, when you win it all. You get to be on Saturday Night Live and Dancing with the Stars and top 51 and whatever list that is you just mentioned.
Yeah, it was like ESPN Sports Poll. They're the Lucre on trends.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because you got that stuff going on in the NFL now where the powers that be are kind of scale back on the celebration penalties, or so they say, and let these guys be exuberant. And, that's what the fans have been screaming for. They want to see that. And baseball's kind of like that, show them you've been there before, or like been there, done that, and too cool for school. And just like... But, with the influence of Latin players, and you saw it a lot in the WPC about how into it they are.
Oh, yeah.
That, there's probably going to be a push for, like, the younger generation of baseball fans, which Commissioner Manfred is dying to not lose, of, seeing, like, more of that stuff, more outrageous Joey bat flips and stuff like that. And, I guess I'm all for it, especially if it, results in some other dude knocking him out the following season.
There you go.
Oh, man, I'll tell you.
I don't know if any of our loyal listeners of the Red Sox Rap 360 on AfterBuzz TV are fans of data analytics or data architecture, but I actually found on Fangraphs.com that they posted an ad. The Boston Red Sox are looking for a new baseball data architect. So if you guys are looking for a job...
Whoa!
I mean, I have a job, and I don't live in Boston. Man. I don't know if I can work remote on that. But
just let the cat out of the bag. They were not in Boston.
But yeah, that's a cool job. That would be cool. I wonder what they're trying to do over there. That maybe they lost one of their data architects, or maybe they're trying to spin up something else. I don't know.
Data architects, interesting. So that's just like a stat rat. You just put like lists together or something.
I think so. And also, what they try to do is pull different databases together and see how all these things link together and try to get some insight out of correlating all this data. So, yeah, it's pretty advanced stuff.
The Bill James effect.
There's some really cool stuff at work there. So, yeah, and I know Boston Red Sox, they were like one of the first teams to kind of embrace that whole data analytics thing. I know Oakland A's were all about it too. So.
And now we'll get to see how it works in the NFL as the Cleveland Browns are now kind of
that's right,
taking over. That Paul DePodesta, baseball guy, getting over there and kind of doing that. And they have a bunch of picks in the first 3 rounds. So I'm strangely intrigued to see how that actually works out over there.
Yeah,
Browns, they're not going to be 1-15 this year.
So we had opening day. We had some shenanigans on opening day.
Oh yeah. Brady in the jersey, awesome,
crazy.
I mean, totally staged. Gronk like snagging it and then him tackling it, but still, Belichick is watching that. If he's watching that, it's just like, what are you doing? Tom, you should know better than that.
And Gronk, didn't you just get off back surgery? What are you doing, bro?
And he's wrestling.
Yeah,
And, like,
he's on the
going into
WrestleMania.
WWE.
He's doing the thing like, okay, so if there's anybody who gets away with consistently doing things that other players can't get away with, it's Gronk.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's able to do that and nobody criticizes him, but
He's able to do it because on the football side, he does his stuff.
He does
He's
his
an
stuff,
animal
right?
in the weight room, and he's
Yeah.
just like all about his rehab. He says he's going to be ready for day one of training camp. He's like 4 months into his rehab now. Everything's going good.
yeah.
So let's look ahead to this week real quick. So we got 2 with Baltimore, oddly enough. We got the makeup game with Pittsburgh, and then we go on the road again. Is that true? To
Where is my schedule?
oh, sorry about that.
I don't know. My schedule's not pulling up.
But 2 odd with Baltimore. So we got Sale going tomorrow. Finish up the Detroit series. That's got to be a win. If you can split with Baltimore, take that Pittsburgh game. Maybe get a 5-2 week together.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't it be great?
That would be great.
You know, especially after a winning week this week, they eked it out 3-2. So 2 with the Orioles at home, and then we stay in the friendly confines of Fenway for 3 with the Rays. Oh, another odd wraparound series. That one being on Patriots Day. So that's why that one is. That's a 4-game set with the Rays, with the Patriots Day being the only AM start in all of baseball all year. That's a great one to get a few beers to, and nobody should be going to work that day.
You know, speaking of beers at Fenway, they just ran a. Now, this is this is a fact, guys. This is real investigative work that I did to get you this information. The National Hot Dog and Sausage Council,
Wow.
okay, at hotdog.org, did a tournament to see who had the best hot dog out of all the MLB parks.
Hands down, Fenway Frank.
The Fenway Frank
Boom.
came out the winner.
Of course.
So if that's not a reason to go skip work or take the holiday off and go to Fenway, get yourself a beer and a Fenway Frank, I don't know what is.
For reals.
I mean, it's official.
Can you tell the fine people the answer to your trivia question?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for reminding me. I was
Yeah.
totally going to sign off without telling you.
No problem.
Joe Kelly. He is 13-0 since August 1st, 2015.
Interesting. Yes, Joe. We're all hoping he emerges as that 8th inning guy, but we'll see if he does that. So we got like maybe about a minute left. Is there anything you wanted to get out before we get out of Dodge?
I got nothing. I think that was all for me.
Who's going to come back with the vengeance this week? Xander Bogaerts? Which flu victim is going to come back and just start raking right off the top?
Yeah, I see Xander coming back. I don't know if he
wasn't a flu
came out with the
victim,
flu,
yeah.
but
He
he'll
was
come
just-
off bereavement. He'll be ready to go for sure.
Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts.
And Mookie, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Stud.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Get bowling, kids. You too have wrists that can hit 30 bombs in the majors if you just get bowling big balls. All right. I think that's great. Gang, thanks for joining us for another edition of Red Sox Wrap 360 for Ben Fay. I am Mike Conley. Thanks for dropping in with us, gang. Go Sox! Woo!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.